There are countless channels on YouTube that have been wildly successful, and creators like you and I can learn a lot from them. So today, let's take a look at just one. They've built a dedicated following of 6 million subscribers in just 2 years, and they happen to be one of the most popular true crime channels on the entire platform. They have over 1 billion views across their entire channel, and every time they post a video, it gets millions of views in the first 24 hours. I want you to take a guess right now as to who I'm talking about, and by the end of the video, let me know in the comments if you were right. The reason I say that is because I'm actually not going to tell you who this is, and the reason I'm not telling you who this is because it almost doesn't matter. For now, we're just gonna call them Alex, which is definitely not their name. They're doing so many things on YouTube that anybody can learn from, so I don't want you to be distracted by who they are just yet. So let's start with the most obvious thing that Alex is doing correctly, and that is their channel focus, which happens to be about a topic they are insanely passionate about. And that's really the theory that you've heard us say time and time again. Your channel needs to have a focus, but that important bit there is that the focus should really be something that you as a creator are passionate about. Alex uses a storytelling format to cover different crime and mystery stories that actually happened in real life. And in order to understand why they chose this format, I'll share a quote with you. "I loved telling strange, dark, and mysterious stories ever since I was a kid sitting around a campfire in the summer. My YouTube channel has allowed me to explore all sorts of crazy tales, but I have always wanted to get more detailed, complex, and intriguing." So the takeaway here is that having passion and expertise in a topic can really help you grow on YouTube really fast. You don't want to pick a topic for your channel just because you think it's profitable or super popular. Remember, Alex has over 6 million subscribers, and the topic is true crime. So you don't need to be Dream or Mr. Beast to have millions and millions of subscribers. Next, we need to talk about the content itself, and content is king. A carefully researched topic is going to improve the quality of your video, and that video has the potential to spread to a lot more people. So when you're researching anything you're doing on YouTube, be sure you're using reliable sources. The last thing you want to do is put your credibility on the line with a new and upcoming channel. And you may have seen it coming, but we are going back to that age-old YouTube advice of quality over quantity. So let's go back to Alex's approach to this. And the thing about Alex is that they don't just share a story for the sake of sharing a story. Quote, "My biggest issue is choosing a topic. Not because I can't find material, I'm just picky. There are thousands of subjects. I have them all listed and organized on my computer. Sometimes I find a great story and know it's the one. But there are days I spend 12 hours on the computer and have nothing to show for it because I've just been reading through topics and not liking any." Alex aims to share accurate facts, but also looks to include different twists and turns in their storytelling, so by the end of the video, there's always something that you just didn't see coming. Quote, "Whether it's a revelation at the end or a redirect like, no, it wasn't this person who did it, it was that person. The twist is the most satisfying part of telling a story." The takeaway here is that Alex's content is based on in-depth research and accurate information. It aims to bring viewers along on a journey that will end in some kind of discovery, and indeed, this type of storytelling can definitely grow your channel. Next, let's talk about on-camera presence, because it's not about how you look or what you say, but it's how you say it and the manner in which you present yourself. So let's take a look at Alex's on-camera presence. He likes to illustrate his points with wide-eyed facial expressions and arms waving around, the cadence picking up as you get to climactic moments in the story. This poise in his voice and the gestures therein help people stay engaged with the story he's trying to tell. His audience can listen to him tell grim stories for hours on end. So let's take a look at a few clips from his videos to get an understanding of what I'm talking about here.
When she got there, the house was empty, so she just went inside, she made her way to her bedroom, and she lied down in her bed to try to get some rest. This horde was not having it. They were only there to kill him. And so they all have machetes and knives, and they're looking at him through the bars, and they say, you know, we're gonna come in there, we're gonna cut you to pieces. And so then they start banging on the door, they're trying to hack the lock open, and Moa, he can't do anything.
Quote, "As a storyteller, you must be fully committed. A lot of the stuff I do on camera, I naturally do." So the takeaway here is that the best thing you can do for yourself is be yourself on camera. And this won't happen overnight, by the way. When you first get started using a camera and or a microphone on your channel, it's gonna kind of suck and you're going to need practice. But my bonus tip for you right here is that everyone's videos kind of suck when they first start on YouTube. All right, we're gonna talk about editing now, and this one's kind of interesting because the general advice we like to give is that you need to be adding a lot of pattern interrupts, different clips and sound effects and things like that to keep your video moving along and keep the audience engaged. A good rule of thumb is to change your visuals in a video every 4 to 6 seconds to kind of keep it from being monotonous. However, in Alex's videos, you won't find a lot of B-roll or transitions or fancy effects that create these 4 to 6 second pattern interrupts. Sound effects are actually the element that keep viewers engaged in these videos. It's the hammering, the sawing, the crashing. This all adds to the overall mood that Alex is trying to create. We give a lot of advice here on this channel about the best practices for editing your videos, right? We're always telling you to include these pattern interrupts and use different techniques that keep the video moving along. However, certain types of content on YouTube call for a different touch. Alex's channel is a great example of this. So besides just listening to us, be sure that you're researching the different editing techniques that people in your niche are actually using on YouTube so that you can make videos that audience will respond to. All right, so at this point we've talked about channel focus, we've talked about quality and editing, but what about actually winning the click in the first place? Let's go into detail about titles and thumbnails. And this is the point where we're getting really close to revealing the actual identity of the creator we're talking about today. So on this channel, we actually cover titles and thumbnails quite a bit. And right now I'll put one on the screen in the form of a card that you can click for later. However, on the screen right now, you can see a bunch of titles and thumbnails that our mystery creator is using to great effect. And these all spark a level of curiosity. The titles and thumbnails complement each other. For example, this title says, "This statue will kill you." And we see the thumbnail is a red arrow pointing at the statue. We see Alex in the corner of the video using a confused, shocked look on their face to intensify the curiosity and win the click. You'll also notice the outline he put around himself to help separate him from the rest of the thumbnail. All right, so enough games. The channel we're looking at today is Mr. Ballin, and let me know in the comments if you got it right. Their actual name is John Allen, a former Navy SEAL. They have over 6 million subscribers, as we've said, and one of the most popular true crime channels on YouTube. They actually joined YouTube in 2015, but only started posting these true crime stories in 2020, and in just 2 years, grew to over 2 billion total views. And this year, Mr. Ballin actually announced a nonprofit, and the link is down below if you would like to learn more. It's called the Mr. Ballin Foundation, and it was created to honor victims and support families affected by heinous crimes through education, training, and financial support. In this video, we covered a lot of different tactics, but we didn't really get into super detail. So if you want to learn more about titles and thumbnails, for example, you're going to want to click this video here, where we go into a lot more depth.